It's the Super Dungeon Brothers Super Show with Dungeon Dan and DM Steve.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about things going on with the DC
EU.
EU
Yes.
movies
Mm-hmm.
and the the kind of merger with Discovery,
Yes.
the new
David
president.
Zaslav.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Zaslav, what that means for the movies going forward. Um, so a little bit about that. Uh, what was it?
Batgirl.
Warner, but
Yeah.
just a little bit
Before
of
that. Okay.
background.
Right.
Warner was what, purchased by Discovery, or part of Warner was purchased by Discovery.
So basically Warner had been going through growing pains. I think it had gone through AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
So it was with AT&T for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then AT&T just they couldn't deal with it. So they sold Warner off to Discovery,
Mm-hmm.
and Discovery is, chaired by a man named David Zaslav,
Mm-hmm. And that
and
includes all of the DCEU, all those movies.
it
Um,
also includes all of Warner's holdings, which includes CNN
mhm.
and a few other things.
And DC Comics. I'm more
Uh,
concerned, I think, about the,
mhm.
the the comics and the
Cartoon
movie
Network,
side
I
of
think,
it,
as
of
well.
course.
Oh,
Okay,
Cartoon Network as well.
that
Yeah, I
that
think
makes sense. That makes
Warner has
sense.
Cartoon Network. Yeah, but basically DC Comics. So
Mhm.
that's the focus here today,
Yeah.
actually.
And so there was, the DCEU has been in turmoil for a while. Henry Cavill was not going to be Superman. Ben
Right.
Affleck was not going to be Batman. So that was kind of fractured off. There were all
Hmm.
kinds of kind of infighting. There was the whole Snyder thing, the Snyder
Right.
cut, and people didn't want it. Some group didn't want it, another group did. And we're here now, and this Zaslav guy is what, cutting the fat, kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
And
So
the
so
news,
and that's the reason I brought CNN up, is because one of the first things he did uh, when he took over Warner
speaking of the news.
was he he axed CNN Plus completely. Just they had only been on the air for 3 weeks, and they
Hmm.
cut it completely.
That was going to
It's
happen though,
gone.
because CNN Plus was notoriously, I mean, it was memed on as being just not watched. Nobody
Yeah,
subscribed, nobody
right.
watched. So yeah, that was one of the first things he did. I think he fired a bunch of people,
Oh,
hired a
he
bunch of
definitely,
new
yeah.
guys,
He
new
did.
new men, right?
Hmm.
To some people's chagrin, a bunch of new guys. They came in and they're cleaning house. So one of the
Hmm.
casualties, the one casualty that we know of for sure, is this upcoming Batgirl movie,
Yes.
right? Um, we've seen some stills.
Hmm.
It looked like trash. It looked like a
Oh,
CW show.
easily, yes.
Apparently, they spent something like 80 to 90 million dollars on it already,
Hmm.
and it
And it was
was
the Go ahead.
it was going to include,
Michael Keaton.
yes, as Batman,
Hmm.
as introduced in the upcoming Flash movie, which as of yet hasn't been canceled, but maybe we'll
Yeah,
get to that in a minute.
yeah.
But the the big thing is that they just said it was, what did he say, like
Unwatchable.
unwatchable,
It
right?
was unwatchable.
Now, I've seen a little bit of script. Have you seen that little bit
No,
of supposed leaked script? I don't know if it's
no.
real. If it's real, it's CW Drac. It's absolute garbage.
Okay, okay.
Matches the visuals. I've also heard a rumor that Michelle Pfeiffer might have been going to appear as
Oh
Catwoman.
wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor as well about this. and I heard, and the rumor that I heard is the is apparently what the nail in the coffin was.
Okay.
The rumor that I heard is that at the end of this, because of the way things were supposed to be, this was supposed to be Michael Keaton's third movie. And he was supposed to die in this movie so that
Mm.
Batgirl could take over. And from what I understand, David Zaslav was like, "We are not going to kill Michael Keaton's Batman. That is not going to happen. We're not going to do it."
He's learned, you know, or maybe these people are learning the lesson of Luke Skywalker in The Last
Mm-hmm.
Jedi,
Oh yeah.
Han Solo in The Force Awakens.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully not Indiana Jones in this new fake Indiana Jones movie that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
But you know, the rumor already with that is that they're killing him off to bring Phoebe Waller-Bridge in.
God
Awful.
Almighty.
So
Yeah.
hopefully not that. But this looks like maybe a good direction. Now, I've
Mm-hmm.
also seen some rumors, Dan, that they're gonna bring that maybe Henry Cavill is gonna come back, maybe Ben Affleck is gonna come
I
back.
Well, no, I've heard two things about that. I just heard two rumors today about that actually.
Hmm.
So, rumor number one, Henry Cavill. The rumor is that he is going to show up at in an end credits scene in Black Adam.
Okay. Which I don't care
That's
about at all.
no, no. Uh, Affleck, and I've actually been hearing this now for a while, is actually in reshoots in Aquaman to replace Michael Keaton's Batman, because Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to show up in Aquaman, but because things got
Are
all messed up,
changing.
because Flashpoint got pushed back, because Batgirl got canceled,
Hmm.
Affleck is going to be reshooting what Michael Keaton was supposed to be in Aquaman, which with Aquaman, the big rumor is that they're replacing what's her face?
Amber Heard.
They're replacing Amber Heard. Everybody really
Smart.
wants it to be uh what's her name?
Amelia Clark.
Amelia Clark. Everybody wants it to be Amelia Clark. Nobody really knows if it's going to be Amelia Clark.
Does everybody want it to be Amelia Clark? I don't know. People are saying that, but I think that I don't know. Personal opinion, I don't think she's that great of an actress. I think that
Well,
once
I think they want it. They want for the chemistry is what they want it for.
did they
Yeah.
really have chemistry? Really? I mean, most of that show he was like roughing her up. I guess a little bit
Eh,
before he died
yeah.
they had chemistry. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe I should
That's
I was gonna
how
say maybe I should rewatch it, but I'm not gonna
you
rewatch
don't want to
that.
rewatch that. Nobody needs to rewatch that.
Not at all.
Yeah. But
So as far as DC though, the other thing that I had heard about is of course the direction that they had been going in. They were talking about replacing Superman with
hmm
Supergirl, which was
right.
another thing that was possibly going to be happening in the Flash movie. And who knows what's going on with that Flash movie now, because there's all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff with that. But
Yeah. Ezra is off the chain at this point.
off off
Off the
off
chain.
the chain, he's just off his fucking rocker, really.
Yeah, he
But
is really.
when it comes down to it, they were going to do this Supergirl, and we know we've had, you know, still shots of that as
hmm
well, and that also looked pretty garbo. And there's a rumor that that might be canceled as well, and hopefully if
Yeah,
they're gonna,
I think Supergirl is gone.
hmm
I kind of think that's gone because you hear the mumbling, the murmurings that um they're retooling Flashpoint.
hmm
They're either retooling it or they're gonna shelve it
hmm
because it's because at this point Ezra Miller has made it a toxic Ezra Miller has made it toxic.
hmm definitely.
He's made
Uh,
it toxic because he's a nut job.
Yeah, he's had antics. He's apparently, I don't know. Are they still looking for him? Is he still?
They're still looking for him, and the most recent rumor now is that when he was in Iceland, he had a cult.
Yeah, I saw the cult thing. I don't know about that. Well, maybe
Just
that's
whatever. Oh my God.
it's pretty wild. But
Yeah.
yeah, that could be a thing. But I don't know. What would you personally like to see with the DCEU going forward? How would you personally like to see it go from here, from what we know?
Okay. So I think they definitely need a hard reboot. I think that that's something that is just inevitable. It's too late for the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse is done. No matter how many people really liked it, really were into, the dark DC universe and things like that, Snyderverse is done. Uh, DC woke, sorry, DC woke is completely gone. That's Zaslav is taking care of that, I think. Uh, which, Walter Hamada, the head of DC on film, is pretty much out the door at this point. Apparently was not happy that nobody consulted him about canning Batgirl, so he's kind of on his way out the door. Yeah,
Boo-hoo.
pretty much. Sorry, Charlie, you're
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
So
that's
going forward, it needs a complete reboot. And
okay.
what I think they need to do, I because I think this is something that's not really been done,
Okay,
is I think they need to go back to um Golden Age. I think they actually need to go back, and they need to be like, okay, their Superman needs to be more Golden Age Superman. Their Batman needs to be a little more Golden Age Batman. And I'm not saying that you need to like get rid of actors and things like that, because Henry Cavill is a decent Superman. Ben Affleck is for as much as eh, Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot, however you say her name.
there's a problem with the Golden Age thing though, and that
Okay.
is that uh, DC does not no longer owns a bunch of that stuff because of lawsuits and various things that have
Ah,
happened.
yeah.
One of the reasons why they made a bunch of changes to Superman is because of the lawsuit with Superman's family. And
Ah,
DC keeps making little changes because they own that new version, right?
okay. Right,
Okay,
right.
so and that's with a lot of different characters. There's that original version. There are elements, like for example, I don't think DC Comics can use the curl,
Oh, really?
which is why Superman hasn't had it in such a long time because
Oh, okay.
those
Okay.
rights have reverted. They would, if they needed to do that, they'd have to renegotiate with the family or license that as like a
Hmm.
separate thing.
Okay.
It would cost money. And
Oh,
so
absolutely. Yes.
so that wouldn't be possible. Now, to get back to a golden age of storytelling or behavior or
I
have
think
that, you
maybe
could do
that's
maybe
yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. And I think that's what I'm talking about is you know, don't I'm not saying set it in the 40s.
Mhm.
I'm saying let's go back to that kind of storytelling. You
Mhm.
know,
I think so.
Christopher Reeve's Superman worked because of specifically because of that. And
Mhm.
specifically because of that, Christopher Reeve's Superman is the absolute best Superman. I
I
I
I think so.
I mean,
I think
yeah.
so.
I
But
mean,
listen, you have to remember that uh, even that Superman was tainted at the end, right? Like
this
Superman
is
1 and
true.
2 are
Hmm.
iconic, absolute
Yes.
iconic movies. Superman 3 is kind of
Eh,
it's
yeah,
fun.
right.
Supergirl, which was part of that franchise, was absolute terrible,
Yeah, it
awful.
was
And then
not good.
obviously Superman 4 was oof, yikes, really
Well,
bad.
once you got to that point and, the De Laurentises weren't involved in that
Hmm.
anymore.
But
That's that's
also
the problem.
something about that movie. It included a ram down your throat social message, an
Hmm.
absolute like hard,
Oh yeah, it
and
did.
even if it was one that everybody kind of agreed on, like the end to nuclear weapons, which at the time that was pretty
Yeah,
universal, especially in the United States. I would say it was so ham-fisted that it was, oh man,
it
it
didn't
was
work.
rough. It didn't work.
Yeah. Hmm.
So hopefully, to segue back into what we were talking about before, hopefully Zaslav, I've heard his name pronounced a bunch of different ways, but I like
Yeah.
Zaslav because it sounds tough.
Yeah.
Hopefully he kind of straightens things up. I think a reboot would be good too. I think this whole thing that they have right now, the current, it's too messy.
It is.
Even even with the multiverse, because even their multiverse stuff is tainted by Ezra
It's all
Miller.
messed
So
up. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, the thing
tough.
that I also heard that, and this is a really big rumor, is that after all this is done, um, and this doesn't jibe with with the rumor about Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, is that when they do finally decide to reboot, that the only actor they're keeping is Jason Momoa,
That even sounds weird.
which
If they reboot and then they just keep like they selectively keep, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
think if
weird.
they I think if they keep the actors they have and they reboot, it, depending on how they do it, it could work.
Hmm.
You either keep what you have and reboot it, or you get rid of all of them and you find brand new people and you reboot it again.
I'll tell you what I think that they should do for a little
Go
while.
for it. Okay. Okay.
I think that they should do, for a little bit anyway, they should really, really stand themselves apart and maybe chill with this whole Marvel build up copycat thing. And maybe they should just do like the Batman and Joker and just
Hmm.
do some standalone stuff.
Right.
I liked the Joker was amazing, or Joker
Yes.
was amazing.
Hmm.
I really liked the Batman. I thought it was good.
It was good.
And I don't think that either of those things can have worlds built off of them, but I think they're fine for what they are. I think they were
Yeah.
good standalone, and I think that you could do a second Batman movie in that world, but just leave it at that. The Dark Knight trilogy was pretty good. The last
Hmm.
movie was a little but I mean, I think they could get a cool trilogy. It's standalone. Maybe they don't even
Hmm.
do a trilogy. Maybe they just do two. I don't know. Maybe they just do the one film. But I think they could do that. You know, just do maybe a flash film, but you could have it be just in its own thing.
Right.
You could
Right.
do that for a little while, and then maybe later on build off of one of them if one of them just is amazing.
Right. Well, I mean, to talk about that for just a second, Joker 2. They're having Joker 2, right?
Is that
You heard it.
confirmed?
Yes, it's
For
confirmed. And
sure.
you with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. And it's a musical.
I mean, listen,
So
we'll see what
so
Zaslav thinks of it, right? At
right,
this
right.
point,
Hmm.
right? Because if it's terrible, but you never know. I don't know, man. It could be all right.
It could be interesting.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah, I think a rebuilding period definitely needs to happen.
for sure.
Uh some new actors need to be cast. Um Honestly, some of the stuff that DC is doing on HBO Max is all right.
I've heard some of
I
that's going to get canceled too. I've heard the
the
possibility that Doom Patrol and
Doom Patrol is great. I think Doom Patrol is awesome, and I know that I know you don't like it, but I think Peacemaker is just hilarious. I think
Yeah,
Peacemaker is what it is, and it works because it's not taking itself seriously. It does exactly what it's supposed to do.
maybe. Maybe I'll have to give it a second look. Doom
Hmm.
Patrol, I feel like actually kind of ran out of steam for me towards the
Oh
end,
yeah,
but yeah, maybe that's a topic for another
possibly so.
show.
Hmm.
Final thoughts on this on Zaslav or Batgirl or DC?
If you guys are listening, if DC, somebody in DC is out there listening
Nobody's
to
listening.
us on our first podcast, uh, just make sure you do it right. Don't don't go woke. Don't slam whatever, even messages that we agree with. Just don't slam that shit down our throats.
Please.
Give us give us good story,
Hmm.
well written stories about the core characters. Give
And
us give
yeah,
us Superman, give us a good Green Lantern. Come on. Give hell, give us a give us an awesome Hawkman and Hawkgirl story. Hell, even give us Martian Manhunter.
hmm
Give us something
hmm
that's just good writing, fun, and something that's just gonna bring it back. That that's what I say.
cool. Well, I agree with that, and I think that perfectly caps our discussion about DC off, and which also brings us to the end of our show.
Yeah.
It's a little bit short, and like I said, we're gonna break this up for segments on YouTube. So
Hmm.
of course, if you're watching a replay on Twitch, we are on YouTube. So that's youtube.com/Dicks in the Dark, just
Yep.
like this channel right here. We're on pretty much all social media with that kind of same deal. You'll recognize us by our logo that's right
Yes.
here. And yeah, you'll see us. Again, check out our game. Our game is called Up, Up and Away Nova Destiny. It's the season 2 of our old school Dungeons and Dragons game where the characters are in space, and I've introduced a lot of things like mecha, and it's inspired by toys from my childhood and stuff. So uh, I think it's fun, and I think you should watch it if you're into that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So, before we go, so if you like what we're doing here, let us know. So, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, throw us a couple comments. Let us know what you think about what we talked about here today.
Please.
Ask and let us know what you'd like us to talk about in future installments here. If you even want future installments, let us know.
True.
So, like, subscribe, comment, share this video out to all your friends and family.
Hmm.
Uh, and definitely share it with your enemies. They will definitely appreciate that. Um, yeah, just go ahead and do that. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And again, we're just trying to grow our channel a little bit, and
yeah,
so help us out. And if you like it, let us know. And if there's anything that you don't like, or any comments you'd like to have, we're definitely gonna read them. So
absolutely. Yes.
absolutely, let's do it.
All right. I guess we're Dicks in the Dark. Uh, this is Dungeon Dan
And this is DM Steve.
signing out.
Take care, guys.
Go